and of divine intervention. It is the story of Adanma. Adanma, she's beautiful, intelligent, brilliant, hardworking. She was raised in an upper middle class family. She has, from the beginning, believed that she has great things destined for her. So she studied hard at school, stayed out of trouble, graduated from law school, worked a little bit, and started a law firm. Was making good money. She was comfortable in life. But the environment she was in does not believe that a woman is complete without a man. And so they believe that the crown or glory of a woman is her husband. She was told that her entrepreneurial spirit would scare viable suitors away. So she closed her law firm, secured a lucrative job with a bank, and waited for suitors to come. You see, the suitors must find her, because it's not dignifying in that society for a woman to seek out love. She must wait. And so Adanma prayed, waited for the suitor to come. They came. She was still waiting for a viable one, a suitable one. And then love found her, or so she thought. Adanma got married. And soon after, her husband won the visa lottery to come to the US. The diversity visa lottery is a system set up by the United States government that allows individuals from countries that have been underrepresented in the United States to immigrate to the United States. Another word used for that is brain drain. So with joyful optimism, tempered with trepidation, Adanma and her husband set off to the United States. They settled in with Adanma's brother. They had great dreams. They had great plans. It came time to execute the plans. Adanma's brother-in-law decided that the plan will not go forward. They will be the one, the brother-in-laws will be the one to make a decision for Adanma and her husband. Adanma found that strange, because in the family she grew up in, she was raised as an independent person. But here, they were making decisions for her, whether to stay or whether to leave. Adanma voiced out her opinion, and it was a challenge to Adanma's brother-in-law. They decided that Adanma was not good for their brother. Their brother must leave Adanma. Adanma was verbally abused and physically abused. At one point, Adanma was told to leave the house. Every phone call Adanma tries to make was monitored by Adanma's husband so that he could give the results to the brothers when they come back. When Adanma was asked to leave, by this time, Adanma had a baby, barely 2 weeks old, and by cesarean section. Adanma had nowhere to go. She had no family. The only family she knew was her husband's family. The only people she knew were the husband's friends. Adanma was at a loss what to do. And so Adanma picked up a booklet that she was given at the hospital. She turned it over and saw somewhere at the back of the booklet, shelter. To her, shelter meant a place that she could take refuge. And so she called the number, and they came and picked her up. Adanma left with her baby, barely 2 weeks old, in deep winter, with only bathroom slippers. And she wept all through the drive to the shelter. When she got to the shelter, she told them, I want to go home. I want to go back to Nigeria. And they told her, you don't have to go. You don't have to go if you don't need to go. But she insisted that she had to go because she didn't have any work. And then they told her, look, you need a passport for your daughter. And she wondered, what passport? And they told her, she's an American citizen. You can't take her out of this place without a passport. And so they took Adanma to the passport office. Adanma applied for a passport so she could travel back home. As soon as she applied for the passport, the United States government shut down. That was during the Clinton era, when there was a government shutdown. Adanma could not travel with her child. So she remained in the shelter for some time and then moved on to a transitional house. From a transitional house, she moved to a basement in somebody's house. From that basement, she moved to an apartment where she shared with another person. And from there, she moved to an apartment. From that apartment, she got her own house. And so what do we learn from this? Adanma went to law school, but when she tried to go back to law school, her counselor told her, you cannot go back. She saw how fragile Adanma was and said, you need to go and read computer science. Adanma said, no, I want to go back to law school. And she went to law school. And now Adanma is a board member and a patient of the Patient Advocacy Health Disparity Group of the National Marrow Donor Program. She's also a board member of Humphrey School of Public Affairs. She's an executive member. She was an executive member of NASHMID. She pursued a master's program in public affairs and won a writing award. She was a member of the Senior Legal Policy Advisory Group. She received a scholarship from the Minnesota Association of Black Lawyers. She was in Dean's List. Computer received an award for a writing award. We can learn several things from Adanma's life story. Homelessness comes in different forms and shapes. It is one thing to be homeless, but it's another thing to be homeless at the time that you are in despair, at the time that you are vulnerable. Adanma was vulnerable, and she was homeless. And so, next time we see homeless people on the way, I want us to take a moment and remember Adanma. That person could be Adanma. That the person is homeless does not mean that the individual is lazy. There may be some circumstances or issues in the person's life that cause the person to be homeless. Oh, okay. Somebody help me?
Okay. It's on.
Life is a process. So let's learn to be patient with ourselves. You see, Adanma's life is just an example of a process. She moved from shelter, transitional housing, from transitional housing to a basement, from a basement to sharing an apartment with another person, and from sharing an apartment, got her own apartment, and then a house. So when we think we have not gotten to where we are supposed to be, let's at times give ourselves and be patient with ourselves. Keep your eyes on the star. Adanma was told that she couldn't read law. She should go and read computer science. If you know where you are going and who you are, you keep your eyes on the stars. irrespective of the noise around. Keep your eyes on the goal that you have. And if you are determined, you will reach your goal. The star shines brightest in the dark. That's when it shines brightest. That's when you see the beauty of a star. Adanma had a baby, a toddler, when she was in law school. But during those periods she was in law school, that's when she excelled. She won several awards. And so let's not allow the adversity in our lives to discourage us. Let's maximize the opportunity that we have. Be aware of the season that you are in. There are several seasons in life. There may be a season in life when people will not want to even associate with you. And that's the same thing with adanma. During the time that adanma left and went to the shelter, it was never heard of in the African community that a woman would do that. It was a taboo. Several people disassociated themselves from adanma. Adanma was lonely, but she used the opportunity to focus on what her goal is, and she achieved her goal. So let's be aware of the season we are and maximize it. For wisdom told us that there comes a time, that season may be a season of preparation for some people. Wisdom says there comes a time in the life of every man when he's figuratively tapped on the shoulder to do that very thing, unique to him and special to him. Oh, what a tragedy if that moment finds one wanting and unable to accomplish the task that he's supposed to do. Something that is so unique to him. At times we say, I understand what you are going through. At times it's not appropriate to say, I understand. Because even if you have gone through what another person has gone through, we are so different. Our makeup is so different that there's possibly no way you could have known what the person or understand what the person is going through. At times, it's okay to just be silent when we want to sympathize or empathize with somebody. Why are they still with their abusers? At times we question that. Why are they still with their abusers? At times it's for economic reasons. At times it's because they don't have any other place to go. Not so many people will be like adanma that will look for resources, look for a phone number. Or not so many people will have the courage to pick up and say, come and pick me up. I have nowhere else to go to. Because the unknown is so scary to individuals, especially when you are going through such situations. Give people the benefit of a doubt. Let's learn to give ourselves the benefit of a doubt. We can start with something small, not something big, something that will not break us, or break our dignity, our finances, or our profession. Let's start with something and give each person the benefit of a doubt. No experience is wasted. There's no experience in life. Adanma utilized the experience that she had in working for the community, in serving the community that she is in. We'll be wondering who adanma is. That is adanma, that is the little girl, the barely 2 weeks old girl. And how did adanma survive during those periods? Adanma was on welfare throughout that period. You can imagine what would have happened if there is no such safety net for adanma and her children. Because of adanma's experience, she has established a food shelf. When adanma didn't have food to eat, she would go to a food shelf and they would give her several food. And some of them she wouldn't even be able to eat. But adanma established a food shelf and allowed people to choose the food they like, they will want to eat. Adanma participates in the Christmas toys and food distribution during Christmas every time, because she and her children, they experienced a period in their lives when they didn't have money to buy toys for the children during Christmas. Adanma also established Haven. Haven is a non-profit organization that helps victims of crime and also try to create awareness regarding mental illness. And so what do we say to all these things? I want to challenge us. I want to urge us. I want to dare us to challenge our thought system, and our biases. And when we do that, you will agree with Adanma, or you will agree with me that you will never be the same again. And you will say with me, or sing with me, I will never be the same again. I could never return. I've closed the